Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, and this is an RM Cascadian travel vlog. The fun, you can't really see my shirt. I wore the shirt today. It's special. Look, the fun is back. It was a Carnival t-shirt that I got on this ship. The fun was back. It was a lot of fun. It's my Vista cap as well. That's actually one of my favorite caps. I got this on the Vista cruise ship. Today we're going to talk about like ports of call, why I really like cruising, and then disembarkation. This is the end. This is like kind of the end of the cruise at this point. There'll only be one more video after this one, which will be a review, a general review of the entire cruise, and talking about COVID and the changes that came with COVID and sort of the policies in place because of COVID and how that impacted cruising. But that's next time. This time, right now, we're going to talk about how COVID has impacted the ports of call. That would be one thing. Right now, on this particular cruise, on the Breeze, on a 5-day, there were 2 ports of call. There was Progresso, Mexico, and Cozumel, Mexico. Which, if you've ever been on any cruises, you know that Cozumel, Mexico is pretty much port of call for every single cruise. It's like, if you're cruising the South China Sea, you're still going to spend a day in Cozumel. Yeah, there's still going to be that day that you're in Cozumel, even when you're in the South China Sea or Antarctica or someplace like that. Hell, to the moon. You could be cruising around the moon in a spaceship, and the captain will probably come on and go, "Now tomorrow we'll be porting into Cozumel." So we had those 2 ports, Progresso and Cozumel. I love Cozumel though. It is a nice port. I can see why so many ships put in there. It's a really nice port. Progresso is not my favorite, and in the end, we didn't actually end up going to Progresso because the hurricane the week before, we had beautiful weather. But the week before us, there was a hurricane, and it had knocked out the ship channel into Progresso because they have to dredge out part of the ocean, for the ship to be able to get to Progresso. And part of that channel had collapsed, and they didn't have it re-dredged. So we only went to Cozumel, and Cozumel was a ghost town. There was nobody there. I'm going to touch on it. There's a 2-minute, 2 minutes of vacation coming right now that I did in Cozumel. My apologies. I look like I have been woken up from the dead and reanimated. It was a really late night the night before. Another one, because this is kind of maybe like this is going to be day 4 in Cozumel. And so, yeah, I got up really late. It's like past noon. And I'd just gotten up and gone out into the port because we were leaving the port at 4. And I kind of thought, man, I got to get up. I was supposed to pick up something for a friend at the duty-free shop. And so I was like, yeah, I've got to get going. I mean, I'm going to miss it. So I look a little rough around the edges. That's okay. Every morning I do, it seems like on a cruise ship. And then by dinner, I look more put together. So, okay, let's watch this 2 minutes of vacation. And then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the ports of call. And I'll see you in a little bit. Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, and this is beautiful, empty Cozumel. It is the port area here in Cozumel, and there is nobody here right now. It's still really, really slow, really catching up, I guess, from the whole COVID thing. There are 2 ships in port today, but my ship and a Royal Caribbean ship. But there's not very many people around here, so it's a really lonely port today. I got up really, really late because I stayed up really, really late. I think there's a bug on me. Let's get it off here. Had a great meal at the chef's table last night. I'll post some pictures. It was really good, like always. Totally a fantastic experience. It's definitely part of, I feel like kind of like Carnival's everyman cruising, because there's something for everybody. If you just want to eat burgers all the time, eat burgers all the time. But if you want something a little bit more, I swear to God, I'm covered with bugs. If you want to have something a little bit more sophisticated and elevated, they do things like the chef's table. Really cool meal. The pictures will be up at the bottom. I'm still a little hoarse. There was a lot of loud music last night, so I was really yelling loud to be heard above it. But today is a brand new day. It's really not too hot here today. Maybe 90 degrees or something. Could be worse. Probably would be worse at home. And I just got off real quick to kind of breeze through the port, and then I am headed back to the air conditioned ship, to the air conditioning of the ship. And I will post some more later. That's it for now. 2 minutes, 2 minutes of Cozumel, which is just really a pretty easy to navigate place today. This is the time to come if you don't like the crowds, if you don't want a line. This is the time to come. I'll talk to you later. Okay, so you saw empty, right? I mean, usually in Cozumel at that port where Carnival puts in with all of its ships, it's usually full of people. It's usually tons of people around. I felt like I was about the only one there. There was the one, I can't remember the name of it, but there's kind of a little Carlos and Charlie's type of place right off the dock over there in that area. There were some people there, but everywhere else was just a dead zone. We were the only ship in port that day in that area. Royal Caribbean was also there, as I touched on, but they have kind of a separate dock in kind of plaza area. So their passengers really don't impact that area very much. Probably not at all. I mean, I've never gone over to the Royal Caribbean dock area. I don't know if the Royal Caribbean passengers would come over to Carnival or that area or not. Probably not. So there was only the breeze. The breeze was half full. I mean, if you're looking to go when there's nobody there, now's your chance. Before they go bankrupt, get down there and go to all the restaurants without a wait and go to all the shops without a line. Same thing with cruise ships. I mean, this is your big chance. It was kind of sad, though. It was kind of sad because all of the people that work there in those ports of call were, they've got families and bills. I mean, that's their job. It's not a hobby. That's not what they're just doing on the weekend to hang out. That's their job. And so it was really sad to see it so empty, because that's, basically, now, if you're an hourly employee in Mexico, then you're still making your hourly wage. I suspect a lot of people, at least some of them, at those smaller shops and stalls and things like that, it's probably more of a family-run business or a small business. And, so when you don't have business, you don't have an income. I mean, I know I have a small business as well. And yeah, I mean, if there's nobody there that day, it's an easy day, but it was a free day. I mean, free in more than one ways than one, right? Free time, but no money to pay the bills of maintaining the space, and no money to pay the bills at home. So that was really kind of, sobering. It was a sobering view at the impact of COVID onto the ports of call. That said, Cozumel was still nice. All the people were still friendly. And it was, it's always a nice port of call. We had a beautiful day. You can see from the weather, it was a beautiful day there. And it was a nice port of call. I'm sure Progresso would have been as well. I touch on, Progresso was not my favorite port of call. It's great if you want to see Mayan ruins. It's great. It's got easy access to those spots there on the Yucatan Peninsula. In fact, that's where I saw Chichen Itza was at a stop at Progresso. And they've got kind of a nice sort of Spanish colonial town. But I wasn't going to get off there. So, because I'd seen it. I've been there and done it. I do typically get off in Cozumel. Even though this is like my 10th time to Cozumel, I do typically get off in Cozumel. Now, what can I say? I love cruising. I've been to Cozumel 10 times because I've been on a cruise 10 times. And as I said, every cruise puts into Cozumel. So why do I love cruising? I actually did a little 2-minute vacation video on that. That was my last video on the ship. It was the last day on the ship. I'm going to get teary-eyed just thinking about it. And it was in the morning again, and that's going to come up now. So we'll look at this last 2 minutes of video from the ship. We've got another one from the airport at Hobby Airport coming up. That'll be the very last one. But this is why I love cruising, coming up on right now. Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, and this is 2 Minutes of Vacation. I hope you can hear me over the roar of the water here at the back of the ship, but I felt like this was the perfect view and the perfect spot. This really sums up what I love about cruising. I love being out in the middle of the ocean, just surrounded by water. That's my favorite part. The ports of call are okay, and there's been times, there's been stuff I really wanted to see, like a, pyramid or something, but my favorite part, what I really enjoy, is when we're just at sea. On this particular cruise, we were at sea 3 full days, and then of course the port of Galveston and port of Cozumel. So it was really a great cruise for that, for just being out in the ocean. I've kind of touched on before. I've got a little bit of sort of a claustrophobia, I don't like to be confined in spaces, and this is about as unconfined as you're going to find, on the planet. This great big expanse, it just stretches forever. It suits my Midwestern Great Plains upbringing, being able to see, just pretty much forever. Today is the last day of the cruise. Tomorrow I'll go back into Galveston, and I'll be headed home. But today's the last day of the cruise. They've got some sort of like party here in a little bit, for past guests that are at a platinum or diamond level. I am at platinum level beginning with this cruise, and so I'm going to go check it out. I don't think I'm really going to think it's that great or that big a deal, but I'm going to go check it out. Since this is the first one, I'm going to go see what it's like, and then the rest of today, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to go to the spa again. It's my last day to go check out, kind of lay around the spa for a while. I have no idea what I'm doing for dinner. I wanted to do either Cucina de Capitano or maybe the sushi place. Both of those were kind of on my list. I haven't done either one yet. And I've only eaten in the main dining room one time, so I'm not real sure where I'm going to eat, but I'll find something to eat, and then that'll be it. That'll be the last night. I will post a video, and I'll touch base with you guys later. I'm out of time. I'm on my 2 minutes. 2 minutes vacation. Thanks for watching. Okay, there you have it. There you have it. I mean, I've mentioned a couple of times in these videos that I'm not really claustrophobic per se. I mean, I can be in a small space, but I can't be confined in a small space. Yeah, so that's kind of, it's the one place in the world when you're cruising that you can just feel completely free and non-confined. I mean, everything's open around you. I touched on in that video the Carnival loyalty program. I'm a platinum member now, so I went to the platinum member party. I have a few pictures here I'll post. I mean, I really didn't take much. I didn't video much. There wasn't much to it. Everybody got together in the main show lounge. There were free drinks. Not a big deal for me. I always have the drink plan. But there were free drinks, and the captain and a few officers kind of were there, and the captain gave a speech. And then you have kind of a video presentation where they show every ship that's ever been in the Carnival fleet. From the original Mardi Gras all the way up through now, the new Mardi Gras, the largest ship in the fleet. And everybody kind of cheers or claps when a ship that you've been on, pops up on the screen, which is a lot because most of us there, we've had at least 10 or more cruises, right? So that's a fun part, kind of, but that lasts about a minute. So the fun part lasts a minute. The other part is okay. The other part's okay. I mean, incidentally, these are the ships I've been on. I've been on the Sensation, the Elation. Actually, I'll do them in order. I've been on the Sensation, the Conquest, the Elation, the Destiny, the Breeze, and the Vista. Since I've been on 10 cruises, as you can figure out, several of them I've been on twice. Like the Elation, the Conquest, the Breeze, and the Vista I've all been on twice. So that's the fun part, really, is just a little bit of a walk down memory lane. This party reminds me a lot of when they used to have a past guest party where everybody who had ever been a guest on the ship could come to this party. And that party had hors d'oeuvres, like appetizers, and free drinks, and the captain was there, and we all kind of clapped when the ships went across. So it's kind of the same thing, except they've limited it to people who've had a lot of cruises on the line. Instead of just anybody who had gone on a cruise before, it was a little bit like the old captain's cocktail party as well, because there were free drinks. Now, at that party as well, there were hors d'oeuvres, free drinks. Captain gave a speech. So it was kind of like that. I'll tell you the loyalty program, I'll post a list here. This is the stuff you get with it, right? If you haven't seen this yet. Most of it's just okay. Probably the best feature was that you would get early embarkation, which we didn't really get this time because of COVID. My suspicion is it will never come back. COVID's just been a real convenient excuse for corporations to kind of say, oh, hey, we're losing all this money, but it gives us an excuse to make these changes we want to make that aren't popular. And we can say, well, if you don't like it, it's for COVID. So that's kind of why I think it won't ever come back. But we didn't have that this time, which really isn't as big a deal as you might think. I mean, if you're flying into town, chances are you're not going to get there early enough to use early embarkation anyway. And even driving, I mean, I'm not going to get up at 6 a.m. to finish my drive. I usually overnight in North Houston. I'm not going to get up at 6 a.m. to finish my drive down to Galveston just so I can get on the boat an hour early. You know, so it's never really that big a deal anyway. Same thing goes with, you know, getting off early in the ports. Typically, I'm doing an excursion, so I'm going to be off early anyway because I've got to get off to go to my excursion. So it's not a big deal. The other stuff on there are things like strawberries and water and your pin and luggage tag this time. All that stuff you had to go get. And the point of that is just so you'll hopefully forget to go get it or not bother with it, right? Excuse me. They're hoping that, yeah, you'll just basically forget or not bother with it. And then they'll save money. You know, they'll save money on that plate of strawberries. Now, a lot of people will say, well, it's COVID and they're having trouble financially. I do get that. And I do kind of accept that. And if it comes back after COVID and when things are back to normal, then I'll be proven wrong. I think it won't. I think it is a move because there's getting to be so many people in the program that it's costing more than they like. So that's my thought on that. You have to go get all the stuff. The luggage tag was cool. That was your platinum gift. I'm going to say that. The luggage tag, it doesn't sound cool. It was pretty cool. I got to say, it wasn't that much, but it was a really cool tag. Better than the one you get at Disney World. Better than the one they give you there. So I did think it was cool. I did like it. And I didn't even ask for it. I kind of forgot about it. I went to get my pin at the photo studio. You have to go to photos to get your pin now, which was fine. I was getting a photo there anyway, but the lady actually working there was like, oh, hold on, you're platinum. Let me get you this too. So she actually, excuse me, my sinuses are draining now. My allergies are kicking in. She actually remembered that for me and got it for me. I should have gotten her name. She was super friendly. Everybody on the ship was super friendly. Let me tell you that. Everybody on the ship was super friendly. It was a great cruise. It was. The staff, you could tell they were glad to be back, as happy as the passengers were to be back. I was happy to be back. Even in Cozumel, even with it being empty, I was happy to be there. I was so excited, so exhilarated to be there and be back. And it was really, really a great cruise. Now, on the last day, I went to the spa. As I said, I went to Casina de Capitano, which I've done a review on already. And I finally caught two comedians, which were hilarious. I've kind of touched on them as well in entertainment. And I stayed up way too late. I had originally told myself, Jason, you're going to watch this last comedian, okay? Because you've got to get up tomorrow, get your shit together, get to the airport, wait at the airport all day long, and then get on your plane. I thought, I'm going to go to bed at midnight, which isn't even early. For me, it's a little early on a cruise. Well, I don't know. It's pretty standard. I might have even gone to bed earlier than that before, but with my son, especially when he was younger. But so I thought that, and I didn't even make it to the last comedy show. I went to two of them. I didn't make it to the last one. I ran into somebody, this really cool couple, this really nice couple from Virginia, at the lobby bar, and we ended up going to the casino bar, and ended up hanging out till probably about 1:30 or so in the morning. I did go to bed. I did think, well, I've got to go to bed. I've got to get up. There's only been like one time that I've closed. Now, I've closed the casino bar down during the cruise. I've done that. But there's only been like one time that I've closed the casino bar down on the last night of the cruise. And that was kind of a special occasion. That's kind of a special festive occasion. Aren't they all? Aren't they all? They are all special festive occasions. This was a special occasion. So I was up till like the last night of the cruise till the bar closed. The bar closed and shut down. I ran back to my room. I don't even think I even undressed. I think I was just kind of like, screw it. I'm going to just wear this home tomorrow. I was driving. So it wasn't like I was going to, who cares? If I smelled bad, oh well. I don't know if I did or not. I sprayed on some cologne on the way out my door the next morning, I'm sure. But yeah, no, I just kind of jumped into bed, just fell on the bed, passed out, took a nap for about 4 hours, got up. I had everything ready to go, everything packed and ready to go. And then kind of vacated the room so that the room steward could get in there. I had a little breakfast and made it home without dying on the road. Thank God I was going with someone else. Someone else did a lot of the driving home. Yay. But that one time I did. This time I didn't. I had to get off and disembark and go to the airport, Hobby Airport. I've touched on that, I think, a little bit where I was there maybe I haven't, but I was there all day. Because my flight left at like 6. It was a direct flight back to Oklahoma City. I was going to get in about 7:20. That was actually about 3 hours earlier than any place else. Or any other flight, I mean. Unless I could get a really early flight, which you can't off a ship. Don't risk it. Okay? Get a flight noon or later. All the other flights before that one routed through like Atlanta or Denver or Chicago or wherever. I wasn't going to get into like 10 o'clock at night back to Oklahoma City. So I could get on the flight earlier, but I was actually going to be longer getting home. Now, the bad thing about doing it the way I did was you'll see there's a 2 minutes coming up. There's 2 minutes coming up of vacation, my last one. But you can't check your luggage until like 4 hours before your flight. So I was kind of stuck in the lobby of Hobby. Now, luckily, there's a restaurant there. That was nice. There's a restaurant there. And I'll post some pictures and we'll talk about it when I get back after this next 2 minutes. Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, and this is the last 2 minutes of vacation. We're here at Houston Hobby Airport. I'm really, really, really early for my flight. And it is a really, really, really early morning because I stayed up really, really, really too late last night on my last night of the cruise. But it was too much fun to go to bed. Of course, it always is. This is always the saddest, hardest part of the entire vacation is the goodbye and going home. But I'm having a great breakfast here at Houston Hobby, a pecan pie and Diet Coke, so that they'll balance each other out. And Houston Hobby's a pretty nice airport. It's got a lot of restaurants here. It's not too small, not too big. It's got enough things to do to kill some time. And I'm going to have to kill some time. My flight's not until 6 o'clock, and I can't even check my luggage in until 2 o'clock. So I'm kind of in the outside part. I'm not in the gate area of the airport. I need a nap. I'm going to take a nap right here on this table when I get done with this video. So I can't check my luggage until 2. Once I do that, I can head back to the gate and kind of hole up back there until it's time to go. That was a compromise. I mean, really, at the end of the day, that's one of the problems with taking a transfer from the cruise line is they're going to get you here, pretty early. Looking back right now, sitting at this table, I think, I probably could just hung out around Galveston or something and maybe taking an Uber might have been an option. And next time I'm going to look into that instead of being here at the hotel. God bless. It looks like a hotel behind me. That's why I keep saying that. Being here at the airport so early. And that's the other hint. You can't check in for your luggage more than 4 hours before your flight. So I'm just stuck here with it until that point. But that is fine. Like I said, there's some stuff to do. I might actually take a nap. I might actually just kind of lean my head on my hand and take a nap here on this table. But that's it for now. This is the last 2 minutes of vacation. I hope you've enjoyed these, and thanks for watching. And that pretty much sums it up. I always carry my own luggage off at disembarkation. That way, if I need something from it the next day or something, for whatever reason, I still have it. I check my luggage when I'm getting on the ship. I do check my luggage with porters I do tip the porters, tip your porter. But then getting off the ship, I always keep it because I'm really seriously might want something next morning. I might forget, have accidentally packed something, and I don't want to look for it the next day in the building. You know, I don't want to go looking for it. Disembarkation, the ship was only half full, so it was really quick, really fast. The guys at immigration at Galveston are always nice, I think. Always nice, always friendly, and God loved them trying to get, literally under normal circumstances, especially 5,000 people back into the United States in 2 hours. So they put in the hours. They've got a good couple of hours when a ship comes back into port. But they're usually, I think, pretty easygoing guys, pretty nice guys there. I did get my flight home, and but all told, it would have been quicker to drive. It would have been quicker to drive home than to fly. The food at Hobby was good. The pie was really good. I really liked it. And later, here's a picture. Later, I had lunch in Hobby when I could get past, security. And it was really good, too. It was like a shrimp po' boy, one of my favorites. I wish they would have those at the Seafood Shack, start having those there. It was really good. The fries were really good. And so it was a great trip, a great end to the trip. And that was the end. I came back home to Oklahoma City. And next time, we're going to have an overall review of this trip, an overall review of the trip. And like I said, talk about COVID, the policies of COVID, the trip while those policies are in place, going on a cruise, going to visit Mexico. And we'll do that next time on the 5th and final installment of this RM Cascadian travel blog, Cruising During COVID, the Carnival Breeze, August 21st, 2021. For now, thanks for watching. Wow.